Place to listen on 1380 AM and 95.1 FM. This is KCIM Carroll.
KCIM Sports presents the Pizza Ranch Saturday Morning Coaches Show with Sports Director Jeff Blankman.
Thank you very much, John. Casey Miners with you guys here on the February 22nd edition of the Pizza Ranch Coaches Show, 1380 AM, 95.1 FM at KCIM. I'm taking over for Jeff today. We'll run you through local scores and results from last night's postseason basketball as well as regular season basketball for you guys. In the postseason action for the girls, Exira EHK knocks off MVAO-COU 49-48. Spartans came back from down double digits in the second half in that one. Taryn Peterson with a layup with about 8 seconds left to give the Spartans the win there. She finishes with 28 points, and Jalen Peterson chipped in 10 points for the Spartans. Coon Rapids bared with a big double overtime win in girls basketball postseason action last night over St. Edmunds of Fort Dodge, 50-42. Again, that in a double overtime. Anna Hart with 23 points and 11 steals, and Ella Heidoff had 14 points and 6 rebounds to help the Crusaders advance to a regional final. We'll jump into wrestling action real quick for you guys before we give you the rest of the basketball results. Carson Webker and Owen Clucky last night both went 2-0. They'll be back in action today from Wells Fargo Arena. They both have a chance to finish as low as 6th but as high as 3rd at the state wrestling tournament, and Colby Pierce went 0-for-1 yesterday for the Kemper Knights. Taking a look at some more postseason basketball results for you last night. ICAM Manning went on the road to Hinton. They lost 76-21 last night. Anna Stengel finishes with 9 points and Keegan Aishide with 8 points for the Wolves. Regular season basketball, Carroll boys wrapped up their regular season last night as well. They won on the road to Gilbert, but a 6 o'clock start in that one last night as they lose 69-53. Jared Moore finished with a team-high 13 points, and Trey Tassel had 10 points off the bench for the Tigers in that loss. We will step away, take a break. We got coaches coming up. The Pizza Ranch Coaches Show, run you through who we will all be talking with today here on the Saturday. Eric Nagl of the Carroll Boys Wrestling Team, Shane Vaughn of the Kemper Boys Wrestling Team, Randy Bissen of the Carroll Boys Basketball Team, Sean Minahan of the Kemper Boys Basketball Team, Justin Yetmar of the Kemper Girls Basketball Team, Katie Cook of the Carroll Girls Basketball Team, and then Deb Danner of the Carroll Boys Swim Team, all scheduled to join us here on the Pizza Ranch Coaches Show.
Hey moms and dads out there, let Pizza Ranch make feeding your family fun and affordable. Every Tuesday night, kids 12 and under eat free. Whether they love the pizza, chicken, or mac and cheese, you'll make them all happy. When you're on the go with sports, church, or, well, just life, come in for a quick and delicious buffet. The best part is, they'll do the dishes. Pizza Ranch makes family meals fun and fast. For delivery or carryout, call 792-3456. Pizza Ranch, just off Highway 30 in Carroll.
Whoa, that's good. We're back here on the Pizza Ranch Coaches Show on this Saturday morning, talking here on a Friday night with Eric Nagl, the head coach of the Carroll Boys Wrestling Team. We're down at the state tournament. Tigers have a great Friday night as Owen Clucky stays alive for a third-place finish at the state meet. First, Coach, appreciate you joining us here. Congrats on a great tournament run, especially for Owen.
Not a problem, thanks. Yeah, it's nice to get down here, and last year we got 8 through and didn't get any placers, so it's nice to get O-Dub on the podium. He deserves it.
What's it mean to get him through, especially? Because I could tell last year he was really crushed not making it to Saturday.
Yeah, he was really disappointed. He's had a goal his entire life to be better than his brother. So there's kind of that brother rivalry where Parker placed 8th, I think 7th or 8th at the state tournament, and he was so mad he wanted to do that. And I was like, well, now we can one-up it because now he is the better Clucky of the family. So he owns that one forever.
Yeah, he certainly does. What's been working for him down here?
He's just listening, and it's amazing. He finds the right time to listen, and he's getting hot at the right time, and his ears are on. And I tell everybody when they get to the state tournament, all of a sudden there's like a switch that hits with some kids, and they become unbeatable, and they got a lot of confidence, and he just listens to everything. He's never out of it. And he's willing to try everything, and that's what he did at practices all year long. Willing to make adjustments, spending the extra time, working all the other things he had to, those types of things. So he did the typical right thing to get whatever he deserved from here on. So
I know when I talked to you before the round on Friday night that there was a concern you had the number 2 kid in the state in that fourth round consolation. Mm-hmm. I sensed a quiet confidence though in you with what Owen could accomplish. So in talking with some of the coaches afterwards and talking to him, he followed the game plan. It sounded like to a T. Yeah,
him and Taylor did a great job. Taylor's done a great job with him all year, and Taylor did a great job this time scouting, and him and O-Dub are just clicking. And when you get that brain thinking on the same level, things become good. And O-Dub's great when he can just relax and wrestle. When things get tight, he's probably not the best kid to put in that situation. But right now they just have confidence in each other and everything's going well. So we're just riding it while we can.
2 other guys came down as well and stuff. Michael Rowetter, Quentin Polkin.
Yep.
What did you see from them guys? I know Quentin was a little bit disappointed, probably wanted to get a little bit further.
Yeah. Quentin come out with that first match, and that one was hard. That one was tough. I think I probably took it harder than maybe he did or any of it, but he bounced back that next morning and seemed confident when he got ready, kind of relaxed a little bit. So maybe he was too uptight. Maybe I was uptight with him. I don't know. He seems to be better when he's laughing and relaxing, and then he came out and got a win on that one, and then lost a tough one that next round, and kind of ended it shortly than what he wanted. And Quentin's been wrestling hard all year, and I'll put money, he's one of the best in the state. I'll put my money against him every day. He's a guy I'm gonna take to battle every chance I get. He's one of the most explosive kids I've ever had. We just got to get him to believe in what he's doing and get that confidence and put some time in and go get it. And then Michael coming out, probably didn't have the best draw, probably didn't have the best situation, but I tell you what, he wrestled his rear end off and did everything that he needed to do and got some confidence down here. I think that kind of built him up a little bit. That dude, he knew everything about everybody he was wrestling next, who was next, where he was. He was organized. I think he gets that from his father, guaranteed not his mother. So that was a good thing to see, and I'm proud of him and excited for what he's going to do. I think he got a taste of the bug, and now he's jacked up. So both of them are excited for O-Dub, and the feeling's nice. So that now they know that energy of what it takes to get to the next spot and put yourself on the podium.
And I thought the great thing for Michael, I talked about him with that in one of my video interviews with him yesterday, kind of battled some illness and everything, and, missed some time this year. To be able to come back and get down here tells you the character of that young man.
Yeah, he's a tough kid, and his dad's a head football coach. You better be a tough kid, you know. He's been raised as a tough kid his entire life, so I'm not questioning his toughness. And when you battle some injuries, sometimes you get down on the dumps, and he never did. He just put his work boots on and got back to work and did everything that he needed to get here, and now he knows the feeling. We just got to do the next step in the off season to make the next step. So,
what's the plan for O-Dub for tomorrow? He's alive for third. I know that's the goal.
That's the goal, baby. Win the next one and move on. That's all we can do. We can't look forward. Just got to take the next match in, get a good night's sleep tonight. He's feeling good, and hopefully he's relaxed tomorrow morning. We can go bang one out and keep the community happy and come back with a third place. If not, we'll come back with whatever podium or medal they give us, and we'll go from there. So.
Well, Coach, as always, appreciate you joining us here on this Saturday morning. We get to talk again next week about how O-Dub did on Saturday. So looking forward to talking to you again here soon.
I appreciate it. Thanks. And as always, go Tigers.
Head coach again, Eric Nagl, again with the Carroll Boys wrestling team, back with more on the Pizza Ranch Coaches Show coming up next here on KCIM.
Hi, this is Dr. Rick Gotting. Join me here on KCIM at 10 o'clock on Sunday mornings, where I talk about orthopedics and whatever else really comes to mind. We have a good time on the show, and we would like to invite you to join us.
Listen this Sunday morning at 10 a.m. right here on KCIM for the St. Anthony Hospital Orthopedics Show with Dr. Rick Gotting. For more information about St. Anthony Orthopedics, go to stanthonyhospital.org or call 794-5536.
Back here on the Pizza Ranch Coaches Show, talking with Kemper head wrestling coach Shane Vaughn right now, who's joining us really down here at the state wrestling tournament. Shane brought 4 guys down here. Kobe Pierce had a heck of a run. You guys had a nice showing down here, but congrats on a terrific run down here at the state tournament.
Yeah, thank you. All kids came down and competed hard and performed well, and I know a couple are pretty disappointed with coming up a little short, but at the end of the day, they wrestled their butts off and have nothing to hang their head about.
Let's start with Kobe. Got into Friday night, ended up falling in that fourth round consolation. Had really wrestled really well down here. What stood out for you about the way he performed down at the state tournament?
His confidence. I mean, he came into it not really caring about who was across from him or any prior results, anything like that. He came out and just match by match got the job done and was aggressive, and he did what he needed to do down here and came down and got after it. So nothing but good things to say about his effort this week.
The one thing that really stood out to me is every time I did a video interview with him afterwards was he talked about, what he learned from you going into every match and putting that game plan together. That connection, it seems like you guys grew. Did that start early in the season, or did that kind of build towards the state tournament?
It's kind of something we've been working on all year. He had some ups and downs throughout the year, and I think confidence was low at a few points in the year, and we had some really good talks and some really good workouts throughout the year and kind of built that up, and to the point where come district's time, he was able to stick to a game plan and trust that we were going to put him in a position to be successful. And, paid off from there, and I think that really helped elevate his trust. And he came down here willing to buy into whatever we told him, and he was wrestling confident, and it was really great to see in this final tournament of his career.
What did you feel was his best match down at the state tournament?
I think, it's tough because there's a lot of good individual ones. Wrestling the healing kid, it's tough to beat a good kid twice, and we were able to do that 2 times in a row, 2 tournaments in a row, so that was good to see. We had lost one of the Creston kid at Hawkeye 10. That was kind of frustrating for us when it happened, so being able to get that one back was nice and have the confidence of, hey, I don't care that he beat me before, I'm going to go out and get the job done. That was pretty good for him as well. So hard to say which one for sure, but both of those stand out in my mind.
Coach, he got off to a really good start, then had some illness, I think it was, and stuff, and kind of slumped there early in the year. When did you notice that he was starting to get back to the Kobe Pierce maybe that you saw early?
Probably, honestly, a couple days before districts. We got healthy, but when we got healthy, we were lacking a little bit of confidence there. And I still don't really know what happened there to cause that, but once he got his confidence back and kind of got his little bounce back in his step, he became the kid we all know and love. And, you could see it in his districts and his state performance that he was back to being himself. 3
other guys, Reed Steiger, Caleb Huffman, and Owen Neppel, all making it down here. What did you see from those guys coming in?
Again, a lot of confidence. They were all wrestling really well, putting together some of their better performances of the year at districts and at the state tournament. So that's what you want. You want your guys peaking and wrestling their hardest at the end of the year when it matters most. And so that was really, talk about Colby getting him back on the Creston kid. Reed had to avenge 2 losses just to get down here from the district tournament. So talk about a kid, who puts the work in and trusts the process and gets the job done. And Owen, coming out, qualified as a sophomore, came up a little short as a junior, so being able to get back down here and end his career at Wells Fargo is pretty awesome for a kid like that. He's put a lot of work in for the program, and it's really good to end it down here on the state mats for him. And then Caleb, he's got experience down here. He comes out hard. He's capable of scoring a lot of points, and it's really good to see him getting back here. And I know he's hungry for next season already and ready to see what he can do in his final run at it.
Yeah, nice to see a couple of underclassmen. They can take this experience back to the wrestling room for next year.
Yeah, it's something to build on, and it's something that we want our program to be one of those that has guys up and down the lineup that have the belief they can get down here and belief they can make noise down here. And that's something we're starting to see with our younger guys, having that belief and buying into it.
Shane, a strong season. You don't get full wrestlers down here without it, but it was one of those, you guys battled so many illnesses throughout the year that in a way it was kind of an up and down type of a regular season, I felt, for you guys.
Yeah, this is, my 6th year here, one of the most challenging from a coaching perspective, and some days we'd look really good, some days not so much, and a lot of things out of our control with illness and injury, and then a lot within our control with just like confidence and a few technical oversights that we had early in the year. So we definitely had to put a lot of work in, but the kids were awesome. They trusted, they bought in, and when things got hard, they responded well. So it was good to see that from them. And, like I said, I just really think we did our best wrestling year at the district and state tournament just as a team. And so that was good to see, especially coming off a Hawkeye 10 performance where we were all pretty disappointed. So we bounced back well, and it's something to build on in the future.
Favorite memory from this season that you'll take away?
I think districts. It was a long, we had that 2-week break between Hawkeye 10 and districts, and we had a try in there where we competed all right, but there was a long time, and like I said, Hawkeye 10 didn't go the way we wanted, and so there were a lot of questions and a lot of uneasiness as we headed into districts, and I didn't know what to expect. And the kids showed up, and just one by one were wrestling their butt off and getting after it, and it went about as well as we could have hoped for. So that was really good. Like I said again, good way to end our year.
What do you hope the guys that are going to be coming back and the new guys coming in next year, what do you want them to be doing in the off season to be prepared?
Just find a way to compete, find a way to hopefully get mat time, get in the weight room. But even the guys that, wrestling might not be their primary, get on the track, get on the soccer field, go play baseball, play football, run cross country, do things to stay active, stay in shape, build that competitive mentality, and then while you can, find a way to get on the mat and get in the weight room. Keep developing as an athlete, mentally, physically, all that, and take all of our Kemper programs to new heights.
Well, Shane, I tell you what, it's always a lot of fun catching up with you. I appreciate all the time all season long. Congrats on a tremendous season, and looking forward to next year already.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you very much.
You bet. Head coach Shane Vaughn again with the Kemper Knight wrestling team. We're back with more on the Pizza Ranch Coaches Show here on KCIM.
This is Cody Erickson, president of the Carroll County Cattlemen. The Carroll County Cattlemen's annual banquet is Saturday, February 22nd. Join us starting at 5:30 at the Arcadia Legion Hall with an amazing prime rib dinner catered by Litterdale Country Store. Stick around for door prizes, a program starting at 7, and a live auction to follow. Tickets are $30 at the door, or they can be purchased at Carroll Vet Clinic. This year's annual Carroll County Cattlemen's Banquet, Saturday, February 22nd, starting at 5:30.
Randy Bissen, head boys basketball coach of the Carroll Tigers, joining the KC Miners here on the Saturday morning Pizza Ranch Coaches Show on 1380 AM, 95.1 FM, KCIM. And, Coach, 2-game skid for you guys going into the postseason. You lost on Thursday to Harlan at home and then turned around and had to play Friday on the road at a Gilbert for a conference game heading into the postseason as you lost that one as well. I know you don't want to be on a 2-game skid, but you look on the bright side, you turn around Monday, get to host a postseason game, and it's pretty much a brand new season for you guys starting Monday. Take us back to those 2 losses. What'd you like from the boys? Overall thoughts on how the week went?
Yeah, I mean, that's never how you want to get yourself going into district play with a couple of losses like that. But Harlan came to our place on Thursday, and it was kind of back and forth for the first half. I think we were up by 4 going in the second quarter, and I think we were down 2 at halftime, and then up 4 going in the fourth quarter, and we pushed the lead, I think 50-42 at one point there with about 6 minutes to go, and Blake Malinsky hit a 3, and Carter Essick had a bucket to push it to 8, and they called the timeout, and they switched it up and went man. Actually, we did a nice job of scoring against their zone, and for whatever reason, we only scored about 6 points the rest of the way from the last 6 minutes of the game, and we couldn't stop them. They hit a 3 and got some buckets inside. So just a tough way to end the game, just on both ends of the floor. We didn't execute down the stretch, and had some good shots at the basket and just couldn't get them to fall. And they made their shots and made their free throws down the stretch. So cut it to within 2 points there late in the game and had a chance, and had to foul late, and they made all their free throws. And so that was a tough one on Thursday night. And then Friday went to Gilbert's against a really nice team. We'd beaten them at our place the first time without their starting point guard. And it was kind of a game of runs as well, and kind of back and forth. We got down by 8 at the end of the first quarter, and then got it to within 2 or 3 there in the second quarter, down 4 going into halftime, and then they started the second half on about a 5-6-0 run. So we got down 10, but then we cut it to 2 or 3 points there in the third quarter as well, and then ended up being 6 going in the fourth quarter, and they kind of put a run together, and we struggled to score. So ended up losing that one by 16, and Gilbert's a good team. We only scored 53 points. We struggled to score. We turned it over too much. But give Gilbert credit. They got a really nice team and made some shots there in the fourth quarter.
Despite the 2-game losing streak for you, Randy, going into the postseason, what did you see out of both those games that gives you encouraging signs, when Monday does roll around? What did you see on the offensive end that you liked, and even on the defensive end?
That's a good question. I mean, offensively, we had some guys step up and make some shots. I mean, we struggled to shoot early against Harlan, but we ended up making 10 threes in that game. And, Stone had 2, Mac had 2, Trey had 2, Blake had 2. So we had a lot of guys that knocked down some shots, which is good because against the zone, you're going to have to make some shots. We shot a lot of three-pointers. I think we're about 10 for 30, something like that. So we made 10, which is good. Defensively, we just have to be more consistent. I mean, they kind of beat us up inside, and they made 11 three-pointers themselves, but they scored 62 points. So I wasn't really even upset with the threes making that many, but we knew one of their best shooters shot a good percentage and made a bunch of threes on the year, and he ended up making 6 against us. So a little frustrating knowing that a shooter, we know who he is going into the game, and he gets loose and knocks down 6 of them. So we'll have to get better defensively of identifying their better players and making it tougher on those guys, and hopefully making the guys that aren't used to scoring a bunch of points and being the focal point of the offense make some of those guys step up. So defensively, just got to be a little more consistent and do the little things well. And offensively, it's the same way. We got to be disciplined. We got to be able to run our stuff and be in the right spots and share the basketball and do the little things and get out and run. So you're right. I mean, it's a tough couple of games to end the year on, but we told the guys too, like, none of that matters anymore, right? You got the game on Monday against Sadell, and we got to be ready to go. And it's a new season, so can't control the past. Let's move on and be ready to go for Sadell.
Despite the 2 losses, Randy, this week, it does sound like the boys never really quit in either of the games. When they got down, they battled back in the Harlan game, and then just sounds like you guys struggled to make some shots in the fourth quarter in the Gilbert game. Talk about their ability, despite being down, still not, giving up on the defense or offensive end. They're still fighting back in these games.
Yeah. I mean, I love our team. I love our kids. They're great kids. They work hard. They want to win. They want to succeed. So they're trying. They're putting their best foot forward, and we just got to be a little more consistent. So, we didn't play our best on Thursday against Harlan in the first half, and third quarter we came out and played much better. And you hope that you can win those games, even though you don't play well. And we just had a bad 6-minute stretch there to end the game. And, besides that, like I said, there's some good things that we did in that third quarter as well. So, and Gilbert, I mean, they got up on us early on Friday, and down 8 at the end of the first quarter, only scored 9 points. It would have been really easy to just hang it up and say it's just not our night. And we competed. We got back into the game. Same way in the third quarter. It was kind of a game of runs. We got back into it there too and put a little run together. And once again, give Gilbert credit. I think they only missed 2 or 3 shots in the third and fourth quarter. They were pretty good offensively. So, I told our guys we play a tough schedule. The conference is good. A lot of tough conference teams, and when we're playing pretty good basketball, I think we can play with anybody. So, like we talked about, we're going to put these 2 games behind us and prepare for the next one, and hopefully play some good basketball.
You guys will be back in action coming up on a Monday. We'll talk about the district itself. If you win, you're going to, more than likely, depending on how stuff lays out, take on Storm Lake in the second round in the semifinals. And then Gilbert, Winterset, some other teams you've seen are in the bottom half of that bracket. I think Algona and Humboldt, the other 2 matchups in that bracket for you as well. Overall thoughts on how you feel your district plays for you guys? I think it's going to be a very competitive district, but a district where you've seen teams throughout the season that you've also beaten this year.
Yeah, you're trying to get me in trouble. We always go one game at a time. So, we're worried about Sadell. Their record so very similar to ours, and you watch them on film, and they got guys that can make shots. They're long and lanky, and they play a little zone. They'll switch it up and do a lot of different things to try to make you uncomfortable. So we'll have to take care of the basketball. We'll have to be good defensively and identify shooters and get that first rebound. And they like to get out and run too, so we'll have to get back and play good defense and make them earn it in the half court and see what happens. But Storm Lakes, that's an opportunity to play them. We have a chance to play Gilbert, probably on the bottom side, or Humboldt. We played against them at the Pride scrimmage early on in the year. At that time, they hadn't played much basketball because they were just coming off of football season. But I tell the guys it's one game at a time. When you start talking about who you want to see or who you want to play and all that, you forget to focus on the game at hand. But we've beat Storm Lake. That's their 1 loss on the year. We beat Gilbert once, so if we see them down the road, hopefully our guys have confidence that no matter who we get matched up against, if we play our kind of basketball and play good defense and share the ball offensively, that we have a chance to kind of play with anybody. So, but that doesn't mean anything unless we're ready to go for Monday. So we're going to try to have a good day of practice tomorrow and make sure we're prepared and see what happens.
Randy, those are the only questions I have for you. I want to thank you for joining me, and good luck coming up the rest of the week. Congratulations on getting to play Sadell on Monday.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate the coverage.
Hey moms and dads out there, let Pizza Ranch make feeding your family fun and affordable. Every Tuesday night, kids 12 and under eat free. Whether they love the pizza, chicken, or mac and cheese, you'll make them all happy. When you're on the go with sports, church, or, well, just life, come in for a quick and delicious buffet. The best part is, they'll do the dishes. Pizza Ranch makes family meals fun and fast. For delivery or carryout, call 792-3456. Pizza Ranch, just off Highway 30 in Carroll.
Whoa, that's good.
Sean Minahan, head boys basketball coach of the Kemper Knights, joining KC Miners at Carroll Broadcasting Sports Network here on the Saturday morning Pizza Ranch Coaches Show on 1380 AM, 95.1 FM, KCIM. And a coach, congratulations on a big win. You make back-to-back district finals and back-to-back seasons for you guys. You beat East Marshall on Thursday 100-56, and it was a really good second half for you guys. Overall thoughts on how you felt the boys played on Thursday?
Yeah, I was really pleased with how we came out of our half. We did some good things in the first half. I thought our second quarter we had some bad turnovers and settled for some bad shots. And then I thought we did a really good job of being efficient. I mean, the three other quarters, I thought we did a really nice job offensively of finding great shots and taking advantage of that.
One thing that I think, though, you can take away from the win is, despite the second quarter not being bad, the boys still played really good in the other three quarters, like you mentioned. But it also gives you something to focus on in practice to get better for when you guys take the court on Tuesday.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just that staying locked in. We got out to a really good start, and they started to make a run at the end of the first quarter, and then it kind of carried a little bit into the second quarter. I think so. It was just one of those things where we just need to be consistent and going, which, I mean, you still had 43 points in the first half, so, you can't be too upset with how they were playing because, I told the guys, we're on pace for 86 at half, and we outdid that in the second half, but it was just by fixing those little things.
They came in, East Marshall did on Thursday, and wanted to shoot the three-point shot a lot. They got some off, but I thought your defense around the three-point line was really good in the win. What did you see on the defensive end from the boys?
It's just that staying locked in. They percentage-wise, they still shot 36%, which is, under their average, but at the same time, we did not let them shoot as many threes as they're used to getting. A lot of that is just identifying shooters and not giving them clean shots. So when they did shoot them, they were definitely rushed.
You guys were able to jump the passing lanes, get out, run in transition, kind of typical Kemper basketball in that win on Thursday. What did you see kind of in the half-court sets on your offensive end when you guys ran some offense from the kids? Did you like what you saw? I know you got Brock open off a couple of screens a couple times for some open threes. Carson did a nice job of driving to the basket. You found Dylan Schoen and Ryan Clare underneath, sometimes on the blocks. What did you see in the half-court offensive set on Thursday?
I thought, those guys, and then Tregan Biter did a really good job. He had 3 threes. He was, I think, a little bit frustrated when we did some scrimmage work in the week. He was struggling a little bit with his shot, and but the rest of the time when we're just simply getting shots up, he said his shot was feeling good, so I think he was just frustrated with that. And but he just went out and he let his defense set the tone for him. He did a good job there, and then he just had a couple easy baskets early, then he started knocking down his shots as well, and that's when he's at his best, is when he's letting his defense do the speaking or do the talking for his game, and then he can go out and he plays really well. And when Tregan plays like that, we're really tough to beat because he's just kind of a glue guy who plays very unselfishly. Him and Carson both as our senior leaders, but when those two are playing well, we're pretty tough to beat.
You guys had 9 days off before you beat East Marshall on Thursday. How did you try to keep the game-like atmosphere up for the boys with that 9-day layoff, and overall thoughts on kind of how you felt that 9 days went for you in practice?
It went okay. We had some bad weather there last week, so what was it? Last Wednesday we had no school, so we couldn't practice. Thursday we didn't practice because we took our guys, but we went bowling to celebrate winning our conference championship, and so we wanted to celebrate that. And then Friday, I was looking at going in the morning. We ended up not waiting, and then we ended up not being able to practice because there was we got out early because of the snow. That little snowstorm that hit right at school was getting out. So we honestly did not practice. We played last Tuesday, so they had about 5 days off. Then we hit the ground running on Monday.
We'll take a look at next week for you guys. You're going to be playing in the district final against West Marshall. That'll be over in Jefferson at the high school there. What do you know about West Marshall coming in for you guys? You don't get to face teams from the other side of I-20 that often, or Highway 20 that often. So a new kind of face that you'll be getting to see in the district final.
Yeah, it'll be fun. They don't have, a lot of height, but they do have some big physical kids. They want to bang a little bit with us or with their opponents. So that'll be different for us, a different look. But I see some similarities to some different teams in our conferences. That being said, I don't know. I think that's where our playing in our conference plays such an advantage for us because we're used to seeing teams, athletic teams, night in, night out, whether they're really good basketball players or not. We see really good athletes night in, night out just from our conference play.
They come in 12-10 into the game on Tuesday. You guys 21-1. Do you think a big key is to tell the boys, hey, don't look ahead, focus on what's in front of you because you don't want them to get too excited about a potentially, a sub-state final coming up?
Right. We just have it's like you said, you just have to take it one game at a time because that's literally all you can do. If you look ahead, that's when bad things can happen. So just stay locked in on our mission. Our guys have done a really good job of that all year. Even when we have, I think if anything, our guys maybe get up early and then they kind of maybe go into a little bit of coast mode or something like that. But I think our guys have done a really good job of getting locked in, especially when that game time rolls around.
Sean, those are the only questions I have for you. I want to thank you for joining me and good luck coming up on Tuesday over in Jefferson against West Marshall.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
A highlight home for Mid-Eye Real Estate Team, 16098 Highway 71. Located just outside of Carroll is this 4-bedroom, 2-bath area home that sits on almost an acre of land. Approximately 3,800 square feet of living space among the multiple levels. Large kitchen with a beautiful island and appliances included. Large 2-car garage plus a heated shop that comes with a hoist. All of this at 16098 Highway 71 with a new price of $329,000. This is Brandon Snyder with another quality offering for Mid-Eye Real Estate Team. Take your tour at midiowateam.com.
Justin Yetmar, head girls basketball coach for the Kemper Knights, joining KC Miners at Carroll Broadcasting Sports Network here on the Saturday morning Pizza Ranch Coaches Show on 1380 AM, 95.1 FM, KCIM. And Coach, season came to an end Wednesday night. You lost to a pretty good Cherokee Washington team, but I think you look at the final score, the first half, the game was a lot closer than what it was. They just wanted a couple runs there in the second half that led to that big margin of victory for them. Overall thoughts, how you felt the girls played on Wednesday night for you?
Yeah, I thought early on we were right in it. We were, executing defensively despite some early foul trouble. We were hanging tough, and like you said, the end of the first quarter, into the second quarter, they just went on too big of runs for us to overcome. And I think they went into half up 20. And credit to our girls. That third quarter we cut it to 10 or 11. We got 4 straight stops after that. Even we could have cut it into more. We just didn't get any shots to fall. So, overall, tough environment, very, very good basketball team, but super proud of our kids. The resiliency, the toughness, the mental toughness they showed just shows to their true character and kind of who we are as a basketball team.
I thought that the runs in the first and second quarter towards the end for Cherokee played really big keys, in the game on a Wednesday. And how did you guys kind of try to counteract their size and their length? I know that Addie and Olivia struggled with foul trouble early in the first half, and kind of how did you work through that with some of your big girls getting in foul trouble?
Yeah, it was not easy. But in the second half we went to more of a zone look, a 1-3-1. That way we could kind of keep someone in front and behind their post. She was very talented. She's 6'1", 6'2", can jump. So she was a tough matchup. But, I thought the girls, adjusted well, executed what we wanted to do there in the second half. So it helps protect them too from some fouls, generally speaking. So I think just that little adjustment allowed us to kind of give them a different look and kind of protect our bigs a little bit.
I thought that Morgan Mashing came in off the bench and gave you some really good minutes, with those two girls in foul trouble. And what did you see from her? And even Sierra Pudence, I thought, did a nice job when she came in, kind of, we talked about her all season being that energizer bunny. She came in, got 4 quick points for you in that first half. What did you see from those two girls off the bench?
Yeah, they're so fast and they're such high energy that, they know their role, and that's their role, is to come in, give us a spark, give us energy. Usually they draw the best offensive player for the other team. So they've bought into that, and we really had a focus on playing really fast. Trying to beat them down the floor, which I thought early on we did a really good job of. And that's what those two provide.
Cherokee Washington had the Wolfswinkel girl come in averaging 20, I think almost 21 points per game. I think you held her to 12 in the ball game. What did you see defensively on her with Kaylee Simons and Elsa Tiefenthaler kind of being the main girl to guard her on the defensive end?
Yeah, we did a good job on her. She didn't shoot it probably up to her standards, but I'm going to give some of that credit to our girls. I thought Elsa played a really, really good basketball game. Against Cherokee and probably even a better one Monday against Missouri Valley. She's kind of long, despite being 5'7". She's got a long wingspan. She makes it tough on other guards. She's very, very quick. She watches a ton of film. So, she's well scouted on whoever she's going to be matched up with. And, similar to with Kaylee, she's just so quick. She just causes fits for these other guards. So those two together create a nice dynamic for our backcourt, and they play their tails off.
We'll take a look at Monday's win for you guys. You opened up the Class 3A Region 5 postseason with the win over Missouri Valley at home, and won that one by 30 pretty comfortably for you guys. I know talking to Jeff, he said that you guys took a 28-0 lead from towards about halfway point of the second quarter into the third quarter, and that really helped you guys build a big lead in that one. It sounds like the girls shot really well on Monday.
Yeah, we played probably our most complete game on Monday. Our pressure was relentless. I think we kind of shell-shocked them early with our speed and quickness and length, if you will. So I think that gave them some fits. We got some early turnovers, which led to early layups, which then got to the free throw line. Then your confidence just builds, and it continued. We hit 10 threes as a team. So it's that contagious mentality of, defense leads the offense. You see the ball go in the hoop, and then, we're just off and running. We scored, through three quarters, we scored, I think, 57, 58 points, something like that. So we were clipping right along.
What does it mean for this program, especially in year one under you, to get a home playoff game and then even pick up a home playoff win in that, and then even get to like a regional semifinal for you guys? What does that mean in the trajectory of this program going forward?
Yeah, we're really proud of our body of work this year. We had 12 losses. 10 of them came to ranked teams. So our schedule, it was very, very tough. But it made us well-seasoned. We had to grow up very, very quickly. So, the girls take great pride in that. They were excited to host on Monday. You could just see it right out of the gate. Their energy level was off the charts. And to be very honest with you, these girls deserve it. They work really, really hard. I get people talk to me, and, the one thing they say is, Coach, your girls never quit. They play really, really hard. And as a coach, you can build off of that mentality of, we're going to give you everything we have until the very end. So it was a ton of fun to get a host, and it was fun to be up in Cherokee in that environment. It's, they've got great tradition, get to state quite a bit. They got small state basketball players, so it was fun, and I really thought we gave them all they could want.
Coach, we'll take a look at the season as a whole for you guys. Again, you mentioned finished 11-12. Got to play two postseason games. Won your first one at home on Monday, and then lost on Wednesday. If you look back at the season, you look at Game 1 to even the loss to Cherokee on Wednesday. What were some of the big improvements you saw from the girls on the court for you this season?
I think defensively, we probably executed beyond what I thought we could have, just given where we were at the beginning. We kind of made a switch over Christmas break. We've been basically man-to-man defense from there on out. And man's tough. It requires a lot of mental toughness. There's a lot of matchup understanding that goes along with it. And the girls, they executed on that. So, and I, always going to kind of focus on the defensive end of the floor. And, I was really proud of, after Christmas break, how well we played defensively.
What games really stick out to you? You mentioned the Missouri Valley game as a game that you felt like you played a whole game, really for the first time this season. But what other games really stick out to you guys was say, that's a win we can build on for the future?
I thought right out of Christmas break when we went to Nottoway Valley, who has arguably one of the best players in the state, and then we went to Earlham right after that. Two really good schools, well coached, girls that know how to play basketball. And we went on the road and won both of those right after break. And we went on a nice little run there right after break. So I look back to those two games and thought that was really kind of the turning point for us. It just created some confidence for us. It showed what we are capable of. And then from there, we just kind of kept building off of that.
With the season wrapping up for you guys on Wednesday, you're probably going to give the girls some time off. Some of them are going to run track in the spring and then softball and roll right into volleyball. But what's the off-season for you as a basketball coach going to look like, and try to get the girls in the gym? What's the off-season for them you're hoping going to look like?
Yeah, number one, we have a senior that we're going to have to replace that, she has been a 4-year varsity player. She's a great kid, great competitor. We're going to miss the heck out of her with Carson Overmole. So, that's kind of step one, is try to fill those shoes that she gave to us. But, for us, we got a good nucleus coming back. We're going to have 4 starters return plus 4 girls that played substantial minutes, which is a nice thing as a coach. And, the girls are hungry. They were not satisfied with last night. The last game's result, and they were already talking about, we got to go back to work. We got to get in the gym. We got to start shooting, and Charlotte Hackford and Elsa and Kaylee, they're going to be our leaders, to kind of lead those things, get us in the gym, get shots up, and we'll do team camps. We'll do our open gyms in the summer. And a lot of girls will, play some AAU basketball too. So we're gonna get a lot of basketball in, but they're hungry, and they weren't happy with 11 and 12, and as a coach, that kind of makes you excited for next year, despite kind of the disappointment with ending the season just this week.
Justin, those are the only questions I have for you. I want to thank you for joining me, and good luck coming up next season. It's been great getting to cover you guys all year.
Yeah, Casey, real quick before I kind of kick myself, Coach Snyder and Coach Daniel have been with me along this first-year ride, if you will, and those two have been invaluable for our program. So just want to thank them. They're great assets to our program. So that's my quick goodbye, if you will, is make sure they kind of get their shared respect.
Say goodbye to Drax and hello to a warm, inviting home when you get a new window from Brinks Exteriors. Hi, this is Allie. We carry several styles of windows, including single, double hung, casement, picture, and more. Plus, with an extensive warranty and satisfaction guarantee, you'll be glad you didn't shop out of town. Find us online at BrinksExteriors.com or stop out and see us in our showroom on the east side of Carroll.
For siding, roofing, gutters, and more, you're all in one Exteriors.
Back here on the Peach Ranch Coaches Show here on this Saturday morning. Jeff Blankman joined right now by Katie Cook, of course, the girls basketball coach with the Carroll Tigers. They wrapped up their regular season on Monday this week. Katie and I are actually talking earlier in the week because I'm going to be down at state wrestling and wasn't for sure if I would be back in town for the Coaches Show this morning. So, Katie, as always, appreciate you joining us here, and good morning. It is still a good morning.
It's a great morning. Thanks for having me, Jeff.
You bet, Coach. Appreciate you moving the interview a little earlier in the week this week. You guys played Gilbert and ended up being last night. This game was supposed to be last week, got postponed. I think you were trying to get it on Tuesday, but ended up having the game on Monday night instead. Matchup of two really good teams. You know each other well out of the conference, both ranked, and stuff throughout this season and at this time. So good matchup for you guys to end the regular season.
Great matchup. It was a tough game for us, but I think, the timing of it is okay with me. I mean, we needed a tough contest. We needed to be exposed a little bit so we can move forward and get better on some of those weak points before Saturday.
What did you learn? You guys ended up falling, I guess I hadn't said 67-53. What did you learn about the team and things you need to get better on before Saturday?
Well, we need to continue to work on our transition defense, our on-ball defense, keeping people out of the lane. We gave up too many drives to the basket. We had too many turnovers, missed too many free throws. We got to play smarter with fouls, and we've got to be willing to just be a little less hesitant and more aggressive on offense, I think.
I was going to say, in foul trouble, not talking anything here, but foul trouble seemed to affect you guys, and you had some girls that got in foul trouble in the first half, didn't get a lot of minutes, and did that lead to Gilbert going on that run in the second quarter?
It's part of the problem when you can't. We had Chloe Cook on the bench for most of the second quarter in foul trouble, and that hurts. She's a starter. We had another starter in foul trouble, Sophia Tigran, on the bench for a while in the second quarter. We ended up fouling out two starters by the time it was all said and done. Our point guard, Caitlin Aiden, had 4 fouls when it was over. Foul trouble was an issue against Gilbert. But we've just got to learn to play a little bit smarter and how to be mature enough to handle some of those situations. Our bench needs to come in and be ready to go too. So we'll continue to just keep getting better every day while we still have a chance.
You guys cut into the deficit in the third quarter. What did you start doing well, especially defensively in the third? You held them to 9 in that quarter.
Yeah, we had a nice third quarter. We switched to our 1-3-1 zone to try and keep them out of the lane. Initially the game plan was to not let them shoot any threes. So, of course, as the best laid plans go, didn't work, and they were driving to the basket. So we switched up to a zone, and it gave them a little trouble. That was a good quarter to us. For us, it's nice to have a solid zone to go to, and the girls looked a lot better in our zone than we did in man.
Who played well for you last night, whether it be on the offensive side or the defensive side?
We had pretty balanced scoring. Caitlin Aiden ended up with 14 points. She had 4 3-pointers. Chloe Cook, with her limited minutes, even had 14 points. She was really strong in the paint for us, and attacking the basket from mid-range. Olivia Roletter had 9 points, 5 rebounds. Jersey Sporer started for Allie Cook, was still out with a little knee injury. Jersey had 5 points. Bella Lou came off the bench, hit a big 3. So she was really solid for us off the bench. It's nice to get some of those girls some experience that don't always get it. So Chloe and Kate tied for leading scorer. I think Caitlin she had 8 assists, maybe at least. So pretty strong game all around for Caitlin Aiden.
Coach, you guys head now into the postseason Saturday as we talk on a Tuesday morning. We still don't know for sure who you play. It's Fort Dodge taking on Storm Lake coming up on a Wednesday to determine who you host on Saturday night. We'll have Casey Miners there for sure, and depending on if we have anybody in the state finals for wrestling. If we don't, I'll be there to help with the broadcast. If we do, I'll be still down in Des Moines. So what do you know about both of the teams? You played Storm Lake earlier this year.
Right. I mean, on paper, it's supposed to be Storm Lake, right? But Storm Lake, I think they're underrated, and they're a very well-rounded team. They've got a solid point guard, a great defender, a great shooter, and a great post player. They'll bring the pressure defensively. So kind of all around a handful with Storm Lake. We beat them early on in the season. We got up big early on, but only ended up winning by 4. So, if it's Storm Lake, we're looking at a dogfight. But this time of year, you can't count anybody out. Fort Dodge is a little bit more of the same. Honestly, with it just being Tuesday, I've got time to dig in a little bit more before Saturday. We're going to head up Wednesday and watch their game at Storm Lake. So it'll be nice to kind of see them go at it live.
Coach, were you a little, I think we talked last week about this, were you a little surprised to see possibly Storm Lake in that, first game for you guys on Saturday? Because as you said, they're underrated. You guys have been ranked. This just seems like a kind of a really good matchup between two outstanding teams really early in the postseason.
Right. But honestly, Jeff, nobody really has an easy road. You send us towards Des Moines, it's going to be the same thing. And they do a lot of these mock regionals, the weeks leading up to the brackets being released, and a lot of them had us playing Storm Lake or in the same bracket as Storm Lake. So I wasn't completely surprised. We had an inkling.
Well, Coach, as always, we appreciate all of the time. Wish you the best. A lot coming up on Saturday, and we look forward to talking to you again next week about maybe a big win and you guys continuing to move on into the postseason.
I hope so. Thanks, Jeff.
You bet. Head coach again, Katie Cook with the Carroll girls basketball team. We're back with more on the Peach Ranch Coaches Show coming up here on KCIM.
Whether you're renovating the kitchen, updating a bath, or transforming another space of your home, Brinks Cabinets and Design has the ideal cabinets to bring your vision to life. Our cabinet lines give you tons of stylish storage options. So before you head out of town for your cabinets, shop local and shop Brinks. Find us online at brinkscabinet.com or stop by our showroom, Brinks Cabinets and Design on the east side of Carroll.
We're back here at the Peach Ranch Coaches Show talking with Deb Danner right now. Of course, the boys swim coach with the Carroll Tigers. They have a great state meet this past Friday and Saturday down in Iowa City. Deb, congratulations, and what a great day for you and for the boys on both Friday and Saturday.
Yes, thank you. It was a great day for all of us.
You bet, Coach. We'll start with Tegan Renzi and what a run that young man had, finishing second in the 200 freestyle and second in the 100 backstroke, but broke the school record again and also makes All-American consideration in both of those events. So what a tremendous day for that young man.
Yeah, it was fantastic for him. He was a little disappointed going in number 1 and ending up number 2, but you can't be sad about it. I mean, he swam just crazy fast, and a couple of seniors beat him out in his event, and that's just kind of how it goes sometimes. But we got a whole year to prep and get ready for next year.
Yeah, is that kind of what he took away from that? Is that there are some things still to work on, or what do you think he took away from that?
Yeah, I mean, he knows he's got things to work on yet. We've talked about different things after his races, so he knows what he needs to do. So yeah, like I said, he was disappointed, but he wasn't upset. It's just a little disappointment, but. Coach. Yeah, we got our things that we're going to work on, and he'll be a little better prepared for next year.
When you talk about All-American consideration, when do they find out, or kind of explain that to me and to the listeners out there?
Yeah, so All-American, automatic All-American, you have to meet a certain time standard. And for consideration, you have to meet another time standard, hoping to get into All-American. And that is all of the United States. They take all the times from throughout the U.S. and compile them and take the top 100 times. And yeah, so it's impressive to be even with All-American consideration. So, he's just like 21/100ths of a second off on his 200 freestyle of being automatic All-American. But, like I said, we got time for that too. And they take these through high school, college, everybody, it's not just high school kids. It's anybody who's swimming in the U.S. So it's pretty impressive feat to accomplish.
Yeah, that's outstanding. I didn't realize that it was against everybody. I thought maybe just against other high school ages. So got to wait for other swim seasons, the way it sounds, to end to find out if he gets into that and All-American status.
Right. Yep.
Okay. League and Cease also in a couple of individual events, the 100 fly and also the 100 breaststroke, took 11th in the fly and 12th in the breaststroke. How did he feel like he did down there?
Yeah, so Legan's kind of been fighting off a little bit of a cold, so, he was really disappointed that his cold had to come at this time, and, it's a little harder to breathe, but, he still swam crazy fast. He's still proud of how he did. He once again, he knows the different things that we're going to try and work on to make him faster. But yeah, he's pretty happy with what he accomplished.
The relays, the 200 freestyle relay had both Legan and Teagan along with West and Toft. Those three were also in the 400 freestyle relay. You had Jordan Wilson in the 200 free with them, and then Landon Cadwell in the 400 free. How did things go for those guys?
Yeah, those guys all swam great. Bettering their time from districts, not making a school record, but they're just a little over a second off of the 200 free record. So, they're pretty pumped that they'll all be back next year and swimming even faster and hoping to take that down. But, they all swam just excellent. They had personal best times on those relays. So, it was an exciting day for them. We got a couple of kids that won a 52 that have never done that before, so they were really excited about that. So, the relays were pretty amazing. Teagan anchored it with a 44, which is just really, really fast. So, we're excited to see what happens for next year.
51 team points, you finish in 18th, so about right in the middle of the pack of the field. For a small school in a way going up against every big school in the state, that's an outstanding team performance.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. We've got, 5 boys going up against teams of, teams of bringing 15 kids to state and, just much bigger schools than ours. And, they did great. We show up for state every year and we make sure everyone knows who we are when we're there.
Coach, I get the sense disappointed that this year's over because of how great this group of kids is that you're getting to work with right now, but excited about the future because you have so much talent coming back.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. All of my qualifiers are coming back next year. So, really excited about that. And, now that they've got a taste of that state competition, a couple of them didn't get to swim it last year, but they did this year. So they're excited and ready to put in the work all off season long. So.
Well, Coach, as always, we appreciate all the time that you've given us throughout both the girls' season and the boys' season. I kind of always jokingly say you get a break from me now until August. So we appreciate all of the time always, and enjoy your off season, and we'll talk to you again in the fall.
Yes, we will. Thank you.
You bet. Head Coach Deb Danner again with the Carroll Boys swim team. Back with more of the Peach Ranch Coaches Show here on KCIM.
Hey moms and dads out there, let Pizza Ranch make feeding your family fun and affordable. Every Tuesday night, kids 12 and under eat free. Whether they love the pizza, chicken, or mac and cheese, you'll make them all happy. When you're on the go with sports, church, or, well, just life, come in for a quick and delicious buffet. The best part is, they'll do the dishes. Pizza Ranch makes family meals fun and fast. For delivery or carryout, call 792-3456. Pizza Ranch, just off Highway 30 in Carroll.
Whoa, that's good.
That is going to wrap up our Pizza Ranch Coaches Show for this Saturday, February 22nd. I want to thank Eric Nagl of the Carroll Boys Wrestling Team, Shane Vaughn of the Kemper Boys Wrestling Team, Randy Bissen of the Carroll Boys Basketball Team, Sean Minahan of the Kemper Boys Basketball Team, Justin Yetmar of the Kemper Girls Basketball Team, Katie Cook of the Carroll Girls Basketball Team, and Deb Danner of the Carroll Boys Swim Team for joining us here on this Saturday and giving us their time to talk with you guys and also hear how their programs are doing throughout the season. We also have more local sports going on today for you guys. We got postseason basketball as well as state wrestling going on. Down in Des Moines at the state tournament, Carson Webker of South Central Calhoun will be wrestling in the 1A consolation round. Worst he can finish is the 6th place, has a chance to finish third. That's coming up about 9 o'clock in that one. He'll wrestle at 106 for 1A. And then Owen Cluckey also wrestling in the consolations for the Carroll Tigers at 157. Worst he can finish is 6th, highest he can finish is 3rd. All that coming up on the CB Sports Network YouTube page. Jeff Hunold as well as Bill Kane going to be on the broadcast for that. Check it out at CB Sports Network on YouTube. Also coming up tonight, the Carroll Tiger girls basketball team gets their postseason season started as they will host Storm Lake tonight. You can catch that game at 6:45 pregame at 93.7 KKRL. Thank you for tuning in, everybody.